So you want to make a crossovers racing map. Okay, here's how. Heads up, this tutorial assumes that you already know how to use Roblox Studio. If you don't know how to use it, but you're still interested in making a map, I strongly recommend you just kinda play around with it. All you really need to make a crossovers map is a good layout, and to make a good layout, all you really need is to just connect a bunch of shapes. Before you start making your map, I strongly recommend that you have a rough idea of what you want your map to look like. Either have a drawn version or really just an idea in your head, or, just a sequence of events of what you want your track to do. Just have something in mind before you dive headfirst into this, lest you make a change that will jeopardize your whole idea. I also strongly recommend that while you're just making the rough layout, you only use like gray blocks or whatever. Sure, it'll look ugly at first, but once it's done, then you can start adding color and stuff and whatnot. Once you have your rough track layout, you can either move into decorating or placing down the pads. While normally I like to go on to decorating first, I will now describe pads. So first things first, let's go over how to use the pads. The pink ones are listed as the item pad. If you download the demo track, which is about the closest that you get to a map making kit, you will have 3 of these to choose from. The pink one is the item pad, and this is exactly what it says. It is just a pink little neon pad that when placed and whenever you walk over it in crossovers, you get an item, depending on your placement. You know how the game works, you've played it before, I hope. And how can we talk about item pads without talking about rare item pads? Rare item pads are about the same as the normal ones, except they are guaranteed to either give you cart ride if you're not in first, or banana if you are in first. Serious thing, most tracks actually do not mesh well with cart ride, so unless you have a really good reason, don't include that one. Just a fair warning. After that, there are speed boost pads. These are pretty self-explanatory. They make you faster. So you can place them anywhere. I recommend like last but not least, from the pads, we have the jump pad. Jump pad, well, I mean, it makes you jump out. What do I really have to say here? Ditto with the rare item pad. You really don't need jump item pads. Sorry, like rare item pads, you really don't need this unless you think it's really necessary. So, like, if you want to actually add a jump pad to your map, maybe consider like, adding a little side path, maybe a balloon-only shortcut that's like something like this, And then like you put it at the end of here, and yeah. I strongly recommend that whenever you're adding more pads or whatnot, that you just copy and paste them. However, if you want to make them manually, then make sure that whatever you make an item pad, that it is pink, that it is called item pad here. You can rename stuff by just pressing return or right-clicking on it, and also make sure it's neon. Finally, once you have everything laid out, well, now you have to set the race checks. Race checks are very annoying, yes I know, but short version, they determine where everything is, where you are in relativity to everyone else in the race. Now let me just set this straight. Race checks are not hard to set up. All you need to do, there will be a folder, or make a folder that just says race checks, or if you're using the kit, it should be there already, and just label everything in the order that you're supposed to show up in. The one at the starting line should be labeled 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, and so on and so forth until eventually you just loop back around to 1. Now, ideally you want a relatively straight path between checkpoints, but every now and then you can have a goofball. Just, try to keep them straight. Try to not have them be super far apart without good reason. Also, obviously, if you need more than just the 6 race checks allotted, well then just, copy one, change its name to like the next number in the sequence, and then just kind of place it down. If you're going to do this though, do remember that you need to move it all the way back to race checks once you're done. Once you've got all that laid out, well then you can just move on to the decoration part. Normally I'd show a montage here, but low-key, I'm lazy, so I'm not going to do that. Also because I want to send this as the file for the like map making kit or whatever. Anyway, before I wrap up, I would like to add some miscellaneous tips to help make your map a little better. Keep in mind, while you're making stuff in Roblox Studio, this thing looks really tiny. But if I were to, hop into a game, well, like, the track's actually, like, pretty big. Just, keep this in mind. Also, another thing to keep in mind, anchor your maps. Yeah, anchor your maps before they send them. As you can probably see in that clip, my map wasn't anchored, so some stuff actually came apart. Not a whole lot, but some. Another thing is to avoid too many sharp turns. Sharp turns, well, as you can see in this thing, there's really only one, and it's right here. Right here, you would have to use your dash or a charge if you had it, and yeah, that's about it. The reason for this is because, well, obviously in crossovers cards, you're slippery. And unless you're intentionally designing a section with a lot of guardrails, I strongly recommend that you do not make something needlessly sharp for no reason. In a similar vein, make sure no platform is too narrow for no reason. As you can see here on the track, basically everything is a nice 40 width, and the only outlier is the side path with a width of 18. This is because this is more risky. This is a balloon only path, and yeah, that's really it. Just make sure that your main path is really wide, and that if you want to add any risky paths, then yeah, maybe it's okay for it to be narrow. Oh, and one last thing, whenever this relates to the layout, remember that balloon and breakdance exist and will break your map if you do not do anything about it. Balloon obviously gives you height. Balloon frequently causes the most race check strip-ups. So for example, if you think that this thing over here could get skipped, which I can't, I tested, well then maybe you might want to raise some walls here and there, and then make decisions from then. In a similar vein, breakdance too, but that's only with pads like the jump pad. If you're nervous about this, again, add some barriers, invisible or not, it will be helpful. And lastly, if you want to make this without using the demo track thing, well, first off, I strongly hope that you do that, but keep in mind that you should at least have the demo track and race check folders. Race check is especially important, same with demo track, so that you can import it as a model. Starting pads, not so much. This is just here so that you know, like, where you can easily pull from them, I guess. Oh, and also, if you're going to use Toolbox, which honestly I won't even make fun of you for, if you use Toolbox, please get rid of the free scripts. I learned that the hard way.